All right, what's up, guys? We should be live. Should be good. Mike's good. Okay, we're good. We got 5 NBA games tonight. It's a small slate, sadly, but 5 games tonight. We got Monday Night Football as well. Dolphins and Steelers. That should be an interesting game. We'll see how that one plays out. But if you guys have any questions for tonight, feel free to throw those in chat. We're only going to be live for about 30 minutes today. It is going to be a little bit of a shorter stream. Just figured because it was a smaller slate, probably wouldn't go live for too long. But we'll go live up until like 7 o'clock when the Pistons and Celtics game starts, and just kind of answer some questions and probably bid out a slip as well. We did give out 2 slips on the stream yesterday for NFL. One of them missed, but then we did give out another one that hit. It was a 3-pick. Quentin Johnston got ruled out, and we took 2 Chargers receivers, Trey Harris over fantasy, Keenan Allen over receptions. Both those hit. Paired that with Rashid Shaheed over targets, which was pretty much sweat-free. So hopefully guys were in the stream yesterday, tailed that slip, and made some money with us. And I'm going to try and do these streams, like every day for the most part. Maybe, on the weekends it'll be a little spotty, but Monday through Friday I want to try and go live. So hope you guys have enjoyed the streams, and if you have questions for tonight, feel free to throw those in chat. But I do want to give out one play that I was liking for today. See, we just got the Pistons starting lineup: Cunningham, Robinson, Thompson, Harris, Duran. Okay, so that's as expected. But one play that I was liking today, so we got news that Peyton Pritchard was downgraded to questionable earlier today, and he's going to play. Like, we just got word he's playing. So they had Anthony Simons' fantasy score earlier today at 19.5. And then when it was announced that Peyton Pritchard was questionable, they upped the line. They upped it to 21.5, and it's at 21 now. I kind of like the under here. I think this is a little bit of a high line with Pritchard expected to play. If Pritchard was out, things would be different, but Pritchard's expected to play. And this year, Simons, he's not been a great per-minute guy. My mic's keeps falling. But Simons has not been a great per-minute guy this year. His fantasy points per minute have not been very good. He's, playing alongside Jaylen Brown and Pritchard. Hold up, my mic is messed up. It's not staying up. Hopefully you can get it to stay up. Sorry, guys. I had this working and then it's starting to fall. I don't know why. It should be good, hopefully. But Pritchard, Jaylen Brown, he's playing alongside these higher usage players. So he's not taking on this big offensive role that he's had historically in his career, like when he was on Portland. And I want to look at his fantasy points per minute this year. Let's see. He's typically been like a 0.9 fantasy point per minute guy. This year with the Celtics, though, Simons is at 0.8 fantasy points per minute. So his production is definitely down. His usage is also down. He comes off the bench. He typically only plays 24-ish minutes. I think as of late, he's been getting mid-20s minutes. I want to take a look at his minutes lately. Let's see. 26, 20, 16, 25, 23. He doesn't have this huge minute ceiling. He's probably maxing out at 25 minutes. It's not a great matchup either. Detroit's a good defensive team. For what it's worth, he's not played a bunch. Last time they played Detroit, he only played 12 minutes in that game. Going up against Cade Cunningham, they need defense out there. And Simons obviously is not a good defender. He doesn't give any defense. So I think this under on Anthony Simons looks pretty solid today. And I want to see where his other prop lines are at. His PRA's at 16. He's typically not a guy that really gets steals and blocks at all. And he can definitely get some turnovers. So, with his PRA at 16, I think his fantasy score should be 18.5 or 19. It was at 19.5 earlier today, which I thought was a pretty accurate line. But then they bumped it up after Pritchard got announced questionable. But now that Pritchard's playing, I think the under is good to take here. So I do like that play for today. I'm struggling to find other plays, though. It's a really tough slate. So one of the plays I gave out on Patreon today actually bumped down, which we almost never see that happen. I took Kevin Love over 18.5 fantasy, and the line got bumped down to 17.5. I'm really not sure why. So Yusuf Nurkic is out for the Jazz tonight. Based off where the sports books and all the sites are setting their lines, they're assuming that Kyle Filipowski is going to start. I think there's a chance that Kevin Love starts because Kevin Love has been the backup to Nurkic pretty much all season. We did see Nurkic miss a game earlier this year, but but Kevin Love was also out that game, so Filipowski started. I think there's a chance Kevin Love could start at center for the Jazz tonight. Now, Kevin Love, he's old. Like, he's obviously not the same player that he used to be, but he is still a pretty good, fantasy producer. Like, when he's on the court, he'll put up stats. Like, he'll shoot the ball, he'll grab rebounds. He's averaging over a fantasy point per minute this year. Without Nurkic, I think he plays like 18 to 20 minutes. If he's starting, he could play like 24 minutes. I like 17.5 fantasy on Kevin Love. I took it at 18.5 earlier today, and the line bumped down on me. Typically, I wouldn't give out plays, multiple times that I've already given out to Patreon members, but this is one that I like. So I'm going to take it again, even if the line, even though the line bumped down on me. So that's 2 picks I like for today. For a third pick, we'll try and find something. Usually I try and do a 3 pick because 3 picks are the best to play on Prizepicks now that they pay out 6x. But I am struggling to find plays today. It's definitely a tough slate. It looks like they do have stuff up for tomorrow. I haven't really looked at tomorrow's game yet. If you guys have any plays, you can throw those in chat though if you want to, and I'll give my insight. What do you think about under 41.5 PRA for Cade? I feel like that line's pretty accurate on Cade. Boston is a tough matchup, but Boston also will let, they'll play a lot of one-on-one defense against Cade. They trust Jordan Walsh as a defender one-on-one. So Cade's going to have the opportunity to be able to play one-on-one against Walsh. And Cade's typically a guy that can win those type of matchups. I want to say he did well against Boston earlier this year, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can find that. So he had 42, 8, and 5. So he had 55 PRA. And then at the beginning of the season, he had 25, 3, and 8. He had 36 PRA. So 36 PRA, 55 PRA in 2 games against Boston this year. I think the line's right. I know he's had some bad games lately, but the role's still really good for Cade. He's taking a ton of shots. He's playing big minutes. Last game, he only played 22 minutes. This game, he played 32 minutes. He hasn't been playing. The last few games, he hasn't gotten his full minutes. But this game should be competitive. It's a close spread. This is a spot where Cade probably plays 36 minutes. I think that line's pretty accurate. What up, Brandon? What up, my man? Ace Bailey over or under on 19.5 PRA. Let's take a look at some Ace Bailey props. I know Ace Bailey's been playing pretty well lately. His PRA is at 19 on Prizepicks. So, without Nurkic, does that benefit Ace Bailey much? I would say probably not. I think it probably doesn't have too much of an impact on him. He has been playing more minutes lately, I do believe. The Jazz, they have nothing to play for. So they have all the reasons to just, play these rookies, play these young guys as much as they really want to. The last few games, Bailey's minutes have been up 34, 32, 31. He probably plays over 30 minutes again. If I had to pick a side there on his PRA, I'd lean the over. I feel like the line's pretty accurate though. But the minutes are trending up on Ace Bailey, which is probably why you're seeing his lines a little bit higher today. I know he's been going under his PRA a lot, but like I said, the minutes are coming up for him. And if he's playing over 30 minutes, I feel like 19 PRA is pretty fair line. I don't see too much of an edge one way or the other. If you don't mind me asking, what's your unit size? Typically, it would be $100, but I'm limited to $5 on Prizepicks. So, I can only play $5 anyway. But typically, it's $100. How much is the Patreon? The Patreon's $20 a month, which is, in my opinion, that is incredibly affordable. And if you look on YouTube, if you go to the description of all my live streams, videos, you can see all the Patreon plays tracked. So I track every Patreon play I give out, and I'll pull it up on the monitor here so you guys can see. So this is literally every Patreon play we've given out this year, every month, January, February, March, April, with units tracked for every month. For the year, we're up 33.5, a little bit over 33.5 units So if you were a $100 bettor, you would be up $3,300. And then for the month of December, we're up $85 as a 100-unit bettor. I have to basically track the plays as if I'm betting $100, but I can only bet $5 on everything. So hopefully that answers your question. And I would say if you're gonna join the Patreon, you definitely want to be playing on Prizepicks, because that's basically pretty much what I post. Prizepicks, like especially with fantasy scores, that's where I find the biggest edge. So if you don't play on Prizepicks, it's probably not going to be worth it for you to join the Patreon. But if you are playing on Prizepicks, I would recommend getting in there. At least trying it out for a month. It's $20. If you don't like it, you're able to cancel your membership at any point. But I literally track every single bet that we give out. I have nothing to hide. Jordan Walsh fantasy. So like Jordan Walsh is a tough one, man. He's been so good lately going over his lines, but like it's tough. Like he's not throughout his career, he's not a player that we have much of a sample on. Like I think he's only been in the NBA like 3 seasons, and this year he's played like more minutes than he's ever played. Let me take a look. So he's been in the NBA for 3 years. His rookie year, he only averaged 9 minutes per game. Then he averaged 7 minutes per game. This year, he's averaging 21.5 minutes per game. So he's obviously playing way more. He's shown ability to be productive. For his career, I want to say he's like a 0.8 fantasy point per minute player. So if you project him for like 26 minutes on average, he's going to put up like 22 fantasy points. Lately, he's been greatly outproducing his projections. I see a lot of people are taking like his over points, his over fantasy. He just keeps going over like every game. But I think the lines are set where they should be. I don't think we can expect, like Jordan Walsh is not a player who's going to continue to put up 30 fantasy points a game like he has been. Like there's regression coming for Jordan Walsh. Is this the game where it happens? I don't know. I will say that he is their best defender. So I think they want him out there to guard Cade. So I feel like his minutes are pretty safe here as long as he can avoid foul trouble. And let's see. In their games against Detroit this season, Walsh played 28 minutes and looks like he didn't play the other game. But yeah, last time they played Detroit, like a couple weeks ago, he played 28 minutes, had 25 fantasy points. So, but yeah, I see a lot of people taking Jordan Walsh props. 76,000 people taking his points. Fantasy is a very popular pick. I feel like the lines are correct, but if you want to just continue to ride the hot streak on Jordan Walsh, feel free, because the dude's been crushing, no doubt. Santi Aldama's fantasy score. So Aldama did start last game with Zach Edey out. He was productive, and he's historically been a pretty productive player when he gets minutes. This is one that I think is okay. Like, I don't hate it. How many minutes did he play last game? So he did play 36 minutes. Now, I'm not confident Aldama plays 36 minutes every night as a starter, because, like, we've seen Memphis, they tend to spread out the minutes. Like, they don't really play their starters big minutes. If I knew Aldama was getting 36 minutes again, I would like the over there. I'm not confident in that, though. I think his minutes most nights when he's starting are going to be like 28 to 30. But Aldama's a good point per minute guy. Like, he scores, he rebounds. I think it's okay. I don't hate it. I don't hate the over there if I had to pick a side. Anthony Davis, 47.5 fantasy score. That is one that I do like for today. That is one that I do like. I think it's a great matchup for Anthony Davis. His minutes have been, all over the place this season, but that's just kind of because he's been dealing with injuries. But he's fully healthy now. He played like 33 minutes last game. And if you look at games this year where Anthony Davis has played at least 30 minutes, he's over this line in like every game except one. And I think the one game he went under was against OKC. So like, if you're going to give me 32 to 34 minutes from Anthony Davis against the Jazz, who are without Yusuf Nurkic, I mean, Anthony Davis should be able to cook in this spot. Whether it's, Filipowski or Kevin Love guarding him, it's a great matchup either way. The Jazz also turn the ball over a lot. They give up a lot of steals. They give up a lot of blocks. This is easily a game where Anthony Davis could have like 25 points, 12, 13 rebounds, couple of assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Like, easy path to 55, 60 fantasy points for AD here. So I do like that play, for sure. what does unit size mean? So unit size, really, your unit size is technically supposed to be 1% of your bankroll. So if you have $500 in your Prizepicks account, 1 unit should be $5. I know not everyone has $500 in their Prizepicks account. So what I say, your unit size should just be a normal amount that you would play on a lineup. So like, a full unit play for you might be $10. So, if there's a prop that you really like, if there's 2 or 3 props you really like, you might play those all 3 in one lineup for 1 unit, which would, maybe it's $10, maybe it's $20. I don't know what your unit size is. But your unit size should never just switch, I think something that a lot of new people struggle with, really not even new people, just a lot of people in general with sports betting, with gambling, they don't bet, like they one day they're betting $50, the next day they're betting $20, the next day they're betting $30, the next day they're betting $50, the next day they're betting $100, the next day they're betting $20. Like, they have no consistency. You want to find an amount that you can play pretty much every day, you can afford to play every day, and just stick to it. And if you're putting in good bets, you'll make money over the long run. But I think what's something that a lot of people struggle with, they'll put in a slip, it might lose, and then they're trying to find another slip to play because they want to, they're chasing their losses, and that's how you can just you can really find yourself in a hole. But when you're unit sizing correctly, sticking to your the amounts that you can comfortably play, you can make some money. But bankroll management, man, it's one of the biggest things in sports betting and gambling that it's a big reason why more people don't make money, because they don't know how to manage a bankroll. They just bet whatever they want, and if that's how you want to be, you can do that. But I'm trying to help people, so that's my 2 cents there. Find an amount that you can afford to play every day and stick to that amount. Even if you go on a hot streak and you win 4 days in a row, don't start betting more because you're winning. Just stick to your same unit sizes. Even if you're on a cold streak and maybe you've gone a couple of days losing in a row, if you're betting an amount that you can afford to play, you should still be able to bet that amount every day, even though you've been losing. Aldama's going under. Zubac's going to kill them. I see Jock Landale getting more minutes. I mean, it could happen. How many minutes did Landale play last game? Let's see. Landale played 27 minutes last game. That was against Utah. I mean, I will say, Memphis can run a bunch of different lineups. Like, they could play Aldama at center. They could play Landale at center. They could play Jaren at center. So, there's a chance, Aldama, his minutes, he could eat into Jaren's minutes. I mean, Jaren has not been playing well this year, especially as of late. I feel like Aldama's minutes are pretty secure. But maybe this is a spot where Jock Landale plays more, if they want more size out there against Zoo. Jaylen Brown points prop under on Prizepicks. Yeah, I saw his line was really high. It's like at 30. Jaylen Brown's been super consistent this year. Again, I think that's a play where, if I had to pick a side there, I'd also lean the under on Jaylen Brown. But the line feels correct to me, honestly. Since they did bump it up to 30, and now he needs to get 31 points for you to lose the under, I would rather side with the under there. If I'm going to take an over, when it's a play like this where it's at 30, it's at it's not at a, there's no hook. Typically, I lean with the under there because then, he has to get 31 for you to lose the under if you take the under. The over on Jokic PRA, he dominates Şengün every matchup. Well, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look. See what Jokic has done against Şengün. 34, 10, and 9. That's pretty good. 18, 7, and 7. Not great. 23, 16, and 5. That's okay. Not great, though, for Jokic's standards. 32, 10, and 15. 38, 19, and 8. Yeah, Jokic has definitely had some big games against Şengün, for sure. I will say that, Houston might opt to... I think last time they played each other this year, they did start Steven Adams. Yeah, they started Steven Adams last time these teams played. just trying to get more size out there against Jokic. They could do that again, but I mean, it didn't matter. Jokic had 34, 10, and 9. I mean, Jokic, like, he is by far the most matchup-proof player in the league. Like, it doesn't matter. You could put the whole fucking team on him, and he'll find a way to get stats. I'm sort of new something about 2 months now at Prizepicks, so thank you for explaining, bro. Sure thing, man. Sure thing. I love answering those type of questions. If you have any sort of, like, strategy, advice, like, I love to answer those. I know a lot of people come in here and they want to ask, you know, what do you think about this prop or this prop? But I like to answer the questions like, you know, the ones that you asked. But I will answer the, you know, prop questions as well. Any other NFL picks today? I don't think so. We did get, or we were waiting for news on Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren got downgraded to questionable today, but it looks like he's playing, which is interesting. I don't know, like, how effective. Jaylen Warren's dealing with an illness. It's going to be like 15 degrees in Pittsburgh tonight. So, like, I feel like a guy dealing with an illness playing in those type of cold temperatures is not ideal. I could see Kenneth Gainwell playing more tonight. He's been playing pretty well lately. He's a guy that they use as a pass catcher. I was looking at his fantasy score. It was at 10.5 earlier, and then when Warren got announced questionable, they bumped it. I think at 11 it's okay. Like, I think this could be a spot where Kenneth Gainwell plays more since Warren is dealing with that illness. But outside of the plays I gave out on YouTube last night, like, I haven't really dove too much into the NFL game. I've just kind of been looking at NBA today. Let's try and find one more play though that we can put in for this trip, because this Pistons game's about to start, and I want to find something I want to do a 3-pick for this play, for the stream slip at least. We could double down and just take a Jabari Smith fantasy. That was a prop that I gave out on Patreon today. That line didn't move, which I'm kind of surprised by. James Harden is questionable tonight. I think he'll probably play, but that'll be something to keep an eye on. Honestly, the Aldama fantasy line that guy, or whoever said that, like, I kind of like that play. Like, if you give Aldama 32 minutes, like, he's more times than not going to go over that fantasy line. Let's take a look at this here. So this year, with at least 30 minutes, Aldama's had 33.8, 31.9, 41.5, 39.2, 41.6, 39.4 fantasy. I kind of like that play. All right, we're adding that one. This is going to be our official stream slip today. Anthony Simons under 21 fantasy. Kevin Love over 17.5 fantasy. Santi Aldama over 30.5 fantasy. Lock it in. Power play. 6x. Let's get it. Feel free to tell if you want to, guys. Typically, I try and give out at least one slip in every stream. And, you know, we gave out 2 slips for NFL yesterday. Hit 1 for 6x. So let's try and run it back. But I do like these plays. The Kevin Love play I did already give out on Patreon. And again, the line bumped down. But I'm gonna stick with my gut. I think Kevin Love plays more tonight without Nurkic, and there's a chance he could start as well. You give me 20 minutes from Kevin Love, I think he gets 17.5 fantasy more times than not. And if you look at his game log this year, I'm assuming when he's played like 18 to 20 minutes, he's gone over that fantasy line. So let's see. So last game, he played 20 minutes, had 34 fantasy. Typically, he's kind of been like in the 14 to 16 minute range. Like, I will say, Kevin Love does not, at least he hasn't yet this season. He hasn't played like shit really many minutes. But now without Nurkic, things could definitely be different. But when he's had like at least 17 minutes this year, 13.9 fantasy, 15.9, 17.1, 24.9, 25.6, 34.1. It really just comes down to how many minutes does he play. Are they going to keep him at like 14 to 16, or are they going to put him up around like 20? Because if he gets that 20 number, I feel good about this play. If they keep him at like 14 to 16, I don't feel as good. But I think he'll be in that higher end, especially coming off a good game. I mean, one of his best games of the season. Look, old man Kevin Love, he can still go out there and put up stats. Any reason Heat wouldn't want a giant Trailblazers? I know nothing is guaranteed, but Blazers on a back-to-back. Heat have been good. I think they win. I don't even think I've really looked at many props in that game. Talking about the Heat and the Trailblazers. Any reason Heat wouldn't win a giant Trailblazers? But Blazers on a back-to-back. Heat haven't been that good. Do the Trailblazers don't play tonight, do they? No, they don't. I was wondering. I was like, what is he talking about? Trailblazers. The Heat played the Raptors tonight. What do you think about Ace Bailey's under on fantasy? We kind of already talked about that one earlier. Somebody asked about his PRA. He's been playing more minutes lately, so that's kind of why I think his lines are a little bit higher today. Also, Nurkic is out. Again, I don't know if that matters much for Bailey. But like, if he's going to continue to play like 32 to 34 minutes like he has been, I feel like his lines are kind of set correctly. I know he's been still going under, even, you know, with those minutes. But, I mean, some of these games he's barely gone under. He also faced OKC, which is a terrible matchup. This should be a better spot against Dallas. Dallas's defense, especially against guards, has been weak. So I feel like Bailey's lines are kind of set correctly, in my opinion. Oh, my bad. I feel my baby right now, too. I'm good. Hey, you good, man? I just saw Trailblazers. I was like, did the Trailblazers play today? I don't remember seeing any Trailblazers props. Aldama's points plus rebounds a good pick? It could be, yeah. I didn't even look at like his other lines. Let's see. His PRA is at 25.5. PR is at, I assume, like 22. Yeah, 22. You could take that, too. Aldama's typically a guy that can get a couple steals. You know, a couple steals or blocks. I think last game he had like one steal, maybe. He typically doesn't turn the ball over much either. Like last game he did have he had two stocks. He had one steal, one block. Fantasy's always kind of my cop-out. Like, that's what I usually go to first. But you could also look at some of his other props. It really just comes down to minutes for Aldama. Like, if he plays 36 minutes again, he probably goes over this fantasy. Because he's typically like a fantasy point per minute player. Kawhi's fantasy, that was one that I was looking at, you know, just with Harden questionable. If Harden doesn't play, I mean, yeah, Kawhi's going to have a big, big role. But Kawhi's, you know, playing full minutes now. Like, they're not capping him anymore. He's playing like 36 minutes. He looks like old Kawhi, like he's playing at that type of level. His lines are definitely inflated tonight because of Harden being questionable. So, like, I'd be a little hesitant there to, like, you know, play into those high lines and then Harden winds up playing. But, like, if you think Harden maybe sits this game, I mean, Harden typically doesn't really sit many games. But, I mean, if Harden sits this game and you want to take that risk that Kawhi goes over, you could. But I feel like his lines are set correctly. They might be a little inflated, honestly, because of, you know, Harden being questionable. What's up, Noah? You like Steven Adams rebounds for 5.5 Green Goblin? I think it is a spot where Steven Adams could play more. Last time they faced each other, last time Jokic, you know, they faced the Nuggets, they did start Steven Adams, I think, you know, just to have more size out there against Jokic. And I want to say, like, he's historically, let's take a look at his, look at this. Steven Adams, Rockets, game log versus Nuggets. So since he's been with the Rockets, oh shit, Tyler Hero just got scratched. That's interesting. Who benefits most with Tyler Hero out? I think Jaime Jaquez benefits here. They might start Khalil Ware. Khalil Ware probably starts. But yeah, Tyler Hero just got ruled out. That literally just happened. I'm going to try and get some plays in. They're starting to pull everything. Damn, they're pulling everything. Fuck. Heat will start Mitchell, Powell, Fontecchio, Wiggins, Adebayo. So Fontecchio starting for Hero. Yeah, if you guys could have got those in, those were pretty good. That just came out. When is that game? That game starts at 7:30, right? Yeah, he got scratched literally 30 minutes before tip-off. Crazy. Damn. I'm guessing all the Heat props are gone. Yeah, they're all gone. Prizepicks was quick to take that off. Sometimes they're like slow, and then sometimes they're like insanely fast. Well, if you have any overs on Heat guys, I would feel better about those now that Hero's out. But like, I forgot what I was even saying before that news came out. That just threw me for a loop. Oh yeah, he was asking about Steven Adams. So Steven Adams, since he's been with the Rockets, in games against Denver, he's played 7 minutes, and then 22, 17, 23. I think he's probably in that low 20s minutes range. And typically when Steven Adams gets like 22 to 24 minutes, he can get 6 rebounds. You're obviously going to be, laying some juice there, like you're going to get a lower payout taking his goblin. But I don't hate that play. He should play more to match up with, Jokic, have more size out there. They might start him. He did start last time they faced each other. Why do you like Simons under? I'm just curious. So his line was at 19.5 earlier today, and then Peyton Pritchard was announced as questionable, so they bumped the line up after Pritchard came out questionable. But we just got word, we got word like 30 minutes ago that Pritchard's going to play. So basically, this line is set as if Pritchard's kind of missing, or they were inflating the line a little bit, assuming Pritchard might miss. But now that Pritchard's playing, like I like the under there, and I think this is a matchup where they're going to need defense against Cade. Like Simons, he's a liability on defense. Like there's paths to him playing like 20 minutes here. Last time they played Detroit, I think he only played like 12 minutes. He went under this line. And then I think at the beginning of the season when they played Detroit, he played 23 minutes and had 11 fantasy points. Just think that line's just a little inflated with, Pritchard playing. If Pritchard was out, that would obviously be a different story, but Pritchard's playing, so 21 fantasy for Simons, I think is a high line. It should be at 19.5 where it was earlier today. Norman Powell, baby, let's go. Yeah, if you got Norman Powell overs, even Davion Mitchell overs, if you got those in today, you should feel good about those because Hero being out definitely helps those guys. I'm surprised they're starting Fontecchio. I don't think Fontecchio started a game all year. I thought they would start Khalil Ware. Like, they literally put out their starting lineup and then scratched Tyler Hero like 5 minutes later. Crazy. That's the NBA for you, man. Players get ruled out at any moment. Like, that's why you always want to be on your toes. Be ready. I got Jaime at 4.5 field goals made as a demon play. That's one I kind of like. I think Jaime's definitely going to play more without Tyler Hero for sure. Appreciate the picks, man. Let's get a dub locked in. Hey, let's get it. Let's get it, man. I think we'll wrap up the stream here, guys. We went a little bit past 30 minutes, but it was a fun stream. We got some late injury news there on Tyler Hero. Sadly, I could not get anything in. Hopefully, some of you guys got something in. But we did give out one stream slip for today. So if you want to tell that, feel free. It was Anthony Simons under 21 fantasy, Kevin Love over 17.5 fantasy, and Santi Aldama over 30.5 fantasy. That's our official stream slip today. Feel free to tail if you would like to. But let's win some money tonight, guys. Should be doing a stream tomorrow, most likely. I haven't looked at the schedule yet. There's only one game tomorrow. Tomorrow's the NBA Cup Championship. So I don't know if I'm going to do a stream tomorrow since it's only one game. But, yeah, that'll probably be it. Because Wednesday, I won't be able to stream Wednesday. And then we're going across the country. Like, we're going on a trip Thursday. So, like, this actually might be my last stream for, like, a week or so. I still will have videos over the next few days, but I don't think I'm going to be streaming. Maybe I'll do a stream tomorrow for the NBA Cup game. I don't know. We'll see. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate you. Let's win some money tonight. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.